भाई साहब, आपके यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट कितना है?
3.5%.
भाई साहब, आपके यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट कितना है?
5%.
हेलो, एक्सक्यूज मी, भाई साहब, आपके यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट कितना है?
8%.
अरे लोग 40% की बात कर रहे हैं, आप कहाँ पे 8% की बात कर रहे हो?
अरे कौन 40% दे रहा है? चलो हम भी चलते हैं आपके साथ.
चल। Hey folks, here Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very interesting video which is about how I earn more interest on my money. But the moment I'm using the word more interest, it means that more returns will come up with more risks. It's a normal saying in finance wherein we say higher risk, high potential returns. So you have to understand the concept, how to proceed with it, as well as what are the risks associated with it. All these interesting things coming up in the coming parts of the video. Now let's try and understand a concept of how to earn additional interest by parking your money in different avenues, right? So first one could be parking your money in current account where you get 0% interest. Okay, so don't park a lot of money there, unnecessary. Second one could be parking your money in savings account. But savings account are going to barely fetch you 3 to 4%. So again, not a good idea to park a lot of fund in savings account. Third one can be parking your money in a fixed deposit. Again, the rates could differ from bank to bank, but generally whatever we are seeing in current scenario, somewhere around 5 to 6% is what you're going to get in a fixed deposit account, right? Next one can be some government related schemes like Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. It could be something like a PPF where you do get better returns, somewhere around 7% approximately. Disclaimer, these rates keep on changing, and in many scenarios like PPF, the lock-in period is also way too higher, right? So again, that could be one of the ways to park your money. Next one could be investing in bonds where you can get even up to 10 to 12%. But then the last entity, if you remember, in the pre-bumper, I said 40% tak milega. Then where can I get up to 40% return? Exactly, that is what we are going to talk about, but in the next part of the video. I'm sure everyone's hearing capacity is going to be like highest right now because the only interest is to know how to earn more, right? But before that, I think it's very important for us to know a very important concept linked to this, and that is nothing but DeFi. What is DeFi? DeFi is nothing but decentralized finance. Is it really that big? Does it really deserve my attention? Does it really deserve my time? So for that, you must know how big this concept of DeFi is. For that, let me take you to a website. So I'm taking you to a website which is bitcoin.com, and recently a news came up on this website which mentioned that total value locked in DeFi surpassed $200 billion. Oh my god. So just few quick explainers here. What is billion? 100 crores is equal to 1 billion, and we are not talking about billion rupees, this is billion dollars. So now you can imagine how much is the total value locked in DeFi. Okay, now wait, what do we mean by total value locked? In simple terms, it's nothing but total money parked in DeFi. For people like you and me who are more comfortable with terms in stock market and mutual funds, in mutual funds there is a term called as AUM, that's asset under management. In simple words, I can say AUM can be compared or is a comparable term with TVL, total value locked. Now if you see how fast has this total value locked grown in DeFi space, January 1st, 2021, abhi, the DeFi TVL across various blockchain has risen how much? 855% from $21.4 billion to today $204 billion. My god, that's a huge jump. But I'm sure one question is still in your mind. What is this DeFi? This is what we are going to talk about in the next section of the video. Now let's focus on the concept of decentralized finance. It's very simple if you pay 100% attention. Okay, so assume that here we have a person who has a lot of money and here we have a person who is in need of money. So basically this person is like a lender, this person is like a borrower. But do they know each other? No. For that, we need a financial intermediary, which is no one but the bank. Okay, is this like a centralized finance? Yes. Why? All the power rests in the hand of the bank. What if this bank was not there? And what if these two people are connected to each other through a network? And that network is nothing but a decentralized network where power is not there in the hand of a single institution, but power is divided in the hands of multiple people. Okay, first example. One more example I'll give you. Here we have a seller and here we have a buyer. Okay, now buyer wants to buy some financial instrument. Let's say shares. Now if this person wants to buy a financial instrument, one intermediary is required. And what is that? Either a BSE or NSE. In simple, what is a stock exchange basically? Okay, but this stock exchange again is an example of what? Centralized finance. Power is in the hand of that exchange. What if this exchange is not there? And what if these buyer and seller are connected with each other with the help of a network, with the help of a platform, wherein again power is not in the hands of a single person, but power is in the hands of multiple person. That is again an example of what? DeFi. Now let's practically see how the DeFi ecosystem looks like. Just have a look at this. I'm on the website ethereum.org. Here we have the decentralized finance section, and here you can actually understand what all things can you do using decentralized finance. You can actually lend money, you can borrow money, you can earn interest, and so many more things. Now here you have again various platforms, something like Aave. What can you do using Aave? You can lend your tokens to earn interest and withdraw it anytime. A very similar function is done using Compound. You have something like a 1 inch which helps you to exchange or to swap your tokens. Now we all are mature audience. Now we are not going to say swap your cryptocurrency. We are going to use the word swapping your crypto tokens, right? We know the difference between currency and token now. What else can you do? You can also do something like you can do payments using DeFi apps. You can have insurance using DeFi. Now what do you get insured? You can get protected against smart contract bugs and hacks. Oh my god. What else can you do? You can also track your portfolio and use a range of DeFi products from one interface using Zapper. There are so many more things to explore. I have given the link of this website in the description. If you have more and more interest in this, surely go and check this website. Now, before we move on to DeFi tokens, a quick revision. Here we have the entire Ethereum blockchain, something like Ethereum platform. On this platform, many magical things can be built, something like DeFi. That's what we talked about in the previous section of the video, right? Then, within this DeFi, we have multiple dApps. What is dApp? Decentralized app. And I've already talked about dApp in this previous video. Also, I'm putting up the link in I button, but you have to check this when? After you watch this entire video. Okay, now if I'm talking about various dApps, have I already given you an example of that? Yes, array, all these dApps that we talked about right now, which ones? Aave, Compound, Oasis, Uniswap, few more 1 inch, PancakeSwap. Now, all these dApps, don't you think majority of them will have their own token? Not currency, they'll have their own token. Where can I find all these tokens? For that, we have to go to the website coinmarketcap.com. That's the website coinmarketcap.com. I'm just scrolling down and here we can see all the crypto tokens starting with Bitcoin, Ethereum, la la la. But which category are we going to enter into? We are going to enter into the category of DeFi. Once I click on this, here you can see again, you will see loads of tokens right here. But let us sort them based on market capitalization. We'll go from highest to lowest. Okay, in the DeFi space, which is the token with the highest market cap as I'm shooting the video, it is Luna. Okay, Luna. Okay, anyways. Next one is Uniswap. Again, that's the dApp, which is a token. It is Uni. Okay, few more examples I'll quickly give you. Which we had talked about. Aave we had talked about. Again, the token is Aave. One more is PancakeSwap. When I heard this for the first time, I was like, what has cake got to do with all these DeFi things? But cake is the name of the token of the dApp, which is PancakeSwap. Oh my god, that's all these are newer things. It's difficult to digest. Go back to olden days when mobiles were new, and at that time we had to tell Nokia ka mobile and Airtel SIM card. Similarly, now we have to tell Compound is the dApp and COMP is the token. You'll get used to all these if you watch more and more videos on the channel. Okay, chalo, one or two last examples can be like, let us say I'm just scrolling down. Radium, again dApp, Ray is the token. And chalo, one last. 1 inch, 1 inch, same. I've given you so many examples of DeFi tokens. I hope all the examples are absolutely clear. I'm sure you'll be like, Rachana, you are such a big cheater because you had told somewhere around the first minute of the video that now you're going to learn how to earn more and more interest. It's been almost 10 minutes in the video. Where is the part of earning interest? But for that, I always believe that first you should understand the concept very well. Once you absorb the concept, then money making is the second part, right? So now we are going to understand how can you earn more. There are 3 ways to do it. Okay, number 1 is staking, number 2 is liquidity pools, and number 3 is yield farming. I'm sure all these 3 terms are going to be like very much difficult to absorb. We are going to talk about this practically one by one. Now first, let's understand what is staking, and immediately we'll discuss how to do this practically. If you remember, in one of my previous videos about Ethereum, I have already talked about what is a proof of stake, right? So what do we have here? We have a lot of Ethereum validators. If you remember, we have talked about nodes and all that. So many concepts we have already talked about, right? So this all these Ethereum validators are going to do what? They are going to try and solve a complex mathematical problem, right? Now, if this node or if this Ethereum validator has to say that I want to solve the problem, okay, this validator will have to stake some crypto token, okay, and how much token will have to be staked? It will be 32 ETH, okay, so that he gets to solve the problem. 32 ETH is approximately 84 lakh rupees as I'm shooting the video. Of course, this amount will change, right? Now, maybe this Ethereum validator does not have that much money right now. So, what is the option available? People like you and me, okay, this is one of the persons, so many people. Now, what we can do, we can tell this Ethereum validator, don't worry, we will also give our contribution. We will give little bit of whatever Ethereum we have, whatever ETH we have, right? And then he will collect the ETH, and then this validator will stake this ETH. Okay. Now people like you and me, we are going to be like, free mein to nahi denge. We will need something in return, right? What are we going to get in return? That part of the reward. So when this validator solves this complex mathematical problem, this validator will get some reward, okay, and this reward will be passed on to whom? All these people who have helped him stake the 32 ETH, okay. So this is the concept of what? Staking. I hope concept of staking is clear. So I'll show you on which websites can we do staking. So now I'm going to show you 3-4 websites through which you can stake your cryptos. Please understand, these websites, whichever I'm discussing. So for example, PancakeSwap, one of the websites, okay. PancakeSwap will be based on a specific chain, right? Example for this, Pancake is based on the Binance Smart Chain. If I'm talking about Radium is based on Solana. If I'm talking about 1inch or Uniswap, that is based on what? Ethereum, okay. So I talked about Uniswap. Then on 1inch, I'll just give you an example. If you go to this website 1inch, here you can see stake token, right? So from here, if you click here, you can first, of course, you'll have to connect your wallet. From here, you can stake the token. Which token are you going to stake? 1inch token you will stake. And what are we going to get in return? We're going to get 1inch in return. So stake a specific token, get rewarded. That interest wala example, get rewarded in the same token. One more example I'll give you. Radium. Okay. So this is working on what? Solana. Here you can see that Radium is the platform. But what is the token? Ray is the token. How much has been already staked? That's the amount. And here you can see APR. That's the yield that we are talking about. That is 27.35%. Isn't that a big one? Yes. And if I'm talking about PancakeSwap, another platform, here you can see, again, here you can see, just take some tokens to earn. So here you can see, what do you stake? You earn cake, you stake cake. So you stake the same token, you get the same token. Which token in this example? In this example, it is cake, which is the token. Now going ahead with the concept of a liquidity pool. If you remember, in staking, what was happening? I stake a token and I get rewarded in the same token. Remember, stake cake, earn cake. Now coming back to Radium, here I'm coming to the tab of pools. Okay. So in pool, so if you remember, we had a separate tab for staking. Now I'm going to the tab of what? Pools. Now here, if you see, what am what is the pair that we are talking about? Here it is SOL-USDC. USDC, if you know, that's a stable currency. Okay. So how much yield, how much interest am I going to get? It's 8.41. They will be like, Rachana, you had told in the pre-bumper somewhere around 40% also you can get. Chiller, this is 8%. Okay, but wait, now what I'll do is I'll just try and sort it ascending, descending. Now if you check out this pair, Step USDC, you're going to get 50.44. If I'm talking about LIQ USDC, it is 40.03. Now do you recollect? I was talking about that 40%. That's where you can get such a high yield. And is this, of course, accompanied with some risk? Absolutely yes. We are going to talk about these risks in the next part of the video, right? But before that, what happens in a liquidity pool? Basically, you invest in a pool which has a pair of token. Example, Step dash USDC. That is a pair, correct? So we are first talking about a pair which gets invested, and what do we get in return? We get something known as an LP token in return. So how do I compare this? It is something like, I go to a bank, I deposit my money in a fixed deposit, okay? And what do I get in return? Fixed deposit receipt I get in return. Similarly, same analogy, I go here to a liquidity pool. Instead of giving money, I'm giving a pair. Which pair? Step USDC in our example. And in return, I was getting a fixed deposit receipt. In return, what do I get here? It's like a LP token that I get in return. This is just a base analogy for you to understand the concept of liquidity pool. And coming on to the final concept of yield farming. Again, I'm giving you the example of Radium only. Here, if you remember, I'd shown you staking. Here, about the pools, and now we are in farms. Now basically in farms, you stake your LP tokens and you get rewarded with interest. Okay. Oh my god, what is happening? It's simple. Listen, I'll again take you back to the fixed deposit analogy. Maybe that helps you to understand the concept of farms in a little bit better manner. Going back, I went to the bank, I deposited my money, I got a fixed deposit receipt. Now ye dil mange more. Assume that I go to another bank, I give this fixed deposit receipt, and I tell the bank, now pay me interest on that fixed deposit receipt. Okay, this is like interest on interest, something like that. Okay, so this can be compared with the concept of yield farming. Again, same analogy. What am I telling you? In a pool, what was I giving? I was giving a token ka pair. If you remember, 2 tokens we were seeing. I give a token ka pair. What do I get in return? I get an LP token in return. Ye dil mange more. I want interest on interest. Okay, now I am going to stake that LP token. Correct? Where? In that farm. And what am I going to get? I'm going to get rewarded. How much? This is unbelievable in farms. So if you see, what is written? All farms. Stake your LP tokens. Okay, so here assume this is the LP token that we are talking about. How much APR? 52.69. Okay, now here again, if you see, if you just try and sort this ascending, descending, or I will just take random examples. Here you can see 157.69%, 151.44%. But again, I hope you are understanding this, that ऐसे ही फ्री में थोड़ी ना ज़्यादा पैसा मिल रहा है, ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट ऐसे थोड़ी ना मिल रहा है APR. So here also, is there going to be a risk attached? Answer is obviously yes. But I hope with this, staking, liquidity pools and yield farming, all concepts are clear. And now finally, I'll show you step by step how can you stake your crypto tokens and earn more interest. Alright, so let's understand in a very simplified manner how can you stake your crypto tokens. For that, there are 4 simple steps that I'm going to talk about. Step number 1, you're going to buy the token that you want to stake. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the WazirX platform, because here you have lots of tokens even in the INR pair, right? Step number 2, I'm going to transfer these tokens that I've bought through the WazirX platform. I'm going to transfer them to my Metamask wallet. Okay, if you want to know more about Metamask wallet, I have written a separate blog on my website, RachanaRanade.com. What's step number 3? I'm going to connect my Metamask wallet to the 1inch DeFi platform. And step number 4, I'm going to stake the crypto token. So with that, let's start one by one. So first thing, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy which token? 1 inch as an example, right? I hit the buy 1 inch button, and once I hit that, that's where my order is already completed, right? What is my step number 2? I'm going to withdraw this amount, and I'm going to withdraw it to where? To my Metamask wallet. I can either withdraw the entire tokens or I can input whatever amount I want. Then I copy my account address from my Metamask wallet. I go back to the website. I paste my account details there, and whatever remark you want to put, you can put your remark and then hit proceed with withdrawal. Then one OTP will be sent to your mobile. Just type out the OTP, authenticated. An additional email will also be sent. You will have to go to your email ID and then approve this withdrawal. Once this is done, you are all set. That's where your tokens will be transferred. And if you want to check whether this has really happened or not, then you can just copy this transaction ID, go to etherscan.io, paste the transaction ID, search, and ta-da, success. Now what do? Now you go to the Metamask wallet, check, yes, that's where all your tokens have been deposited. Now what do? Now you go to the DeFi platform, just connect, choose your wallet, and then you go to which tab? You go to the governance tab, and that's where you can see stake token. How much you want to stake is your choice, 25, 50%, whatever. You have to give permission to stake your token. But wait, here you will have to see that a transaction fee is charged to you. That's also known as a gas fee. Gas fee can be comparatively very high if your total size of your transaction is very less. So be careful, check whatever gas fee has been charged, you're okay with that or not, number one. And number two, if you're not that tech savvy, be a bit more careful, because there are some terms involved here. Unless and until you're sure about all the terms, don't be in a hurry to do your first transaction, right? Okay, if you're sure, then hit the confirm tab. Then again, what you can do is go back to the site, and then finally what you do is that you will have to view on Etherscan if you want. If not, okay, just hit what? Hit the stake token button, and ta-da-da, that's where you're done with your staking token process. I would want to thank WazirX for helping me to create the content about cryptos, and if you want to know more about this platform, don't forget to check out the link in the description box. Another interesting discussion is the difference between DeFi versus traditional finance. So when in DeFi, what happens? You hold your own money. So if you remember, in our wallet, our money remains with us. But if I'm talking about traditional finance, the moment I'm putting my money in saving account or in current account, I completely lose the control over my money. Now the control would be with the financial institution, with the bank. Second point of difference is I have a control where my money goes and how it's spent in case of a DeFi. But if I'm talking about traditional finance, I park my money with the bank, and now bank, if they lend this money to borrowers whose repayment capacity is not that good, then the problems of mismanaging the money and all these creep in. So that is one more point of difference between DeFi versus traditional finance. In case of DeFi, transactions are generally pseudonymous. Many a times people feel that in DeFi, it's impossible to trace any person. It's not like that actually. It is pseudonymous. So with some effort, the person can be tracked, okay? But if I'm talking about traditional finance, your financial activity is tightly coupled with your identity. If I'm talking back about DeFi, there is a very limited customer support. It's not like no customer support, but a very limited customer support from the project team. And in traditional finance, yes, customer support is obviously available. DeFi is open to whom? It's open to all. But if I'm talking about traditional finance, even today, penetration is not 100%. There are many people who are yet to get into this field of traditional finance also, and they are yet to apply to any of these financial services. So you will have to basically apply to get into the financial services space. Markets are open 24/7 in case of DeFi, and if I'm talking about traditional finance, of course, you have national holidays, other breaks as well. If I'm talking about DeFi, it's built on transparency. But if I'm talking about traditional finance, for financial institutions, it's not at all a transparent network or code as such, because it's very difficult to see what's happening in the loan book of ICICI or in the loan book of HDFC Bank and all that, right? So again, one more point of difference. Now, some problematic areas for DeFi. What? In banks, if I'm talking about ICICI Bank, and if I forget my password, it's okay. I go on forget password and I try and retrieve that. There is no forgot password for DeFi. If you lose it, It's gone. So of course for that there are certain options available as well, where you will have different words and you will have to keep them in safe. But if you lose access of that as well, you are done. It's gone. Next one, there is a great possibility that you will have a lot of fake links for DeFi apps as well. So be sure that you are accessing these websites through authentic websites, something like a coin market cap. You can go there and then get yourself redirected to a DeFi website. Next one can be sending back funds can be tricky. So for example, if I'm talking about I transferred funds to an account by mistake, can I call up ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank and say I sent it by mistake, please take the permission, and ask that person to revert it back to my account? Possible. But in case of DeFi, that's next to impossible, because again, identity issue is a big problem. And finally, the most important is impermanent loss. I'll give you a simple example. If I park my money in a fixed deposit, say 6%, I deposit 100 rupees, I'm sure that at the end of the year, I'm going to get 106 rupees. Okay. Going back to our stake cake, earn cake example, DeFi. Okay. I stake cake. Okay. Just as an example, the value of cake was 100. Okay. When I staked and I was going to get a 50% yield. Ideally, at the end of the year, I should have gotten back 150 cake. Correct? But wait. Cake ka price fell down and now the cake ka price is only 50. Will I get back 150? No. Why? Because the price of cake itself has fallen down drastically. It has gone by almost half. So it has gone down to half, right? So this can be a classic example of what? Impermanent loss. So that is the biggest risk in investing in cryptos, especially not if I'm talking mainly about going ahead with staking, yield farming, or in case of liquidity pools. Well, if you have loved this video, don't forget to share it with your friends, family members, and let them also get a flavor of cryptos. Till then, take care, Jai Hind, and bye-bye.